My name's Kayla, this is Cinnamon, Peaches, and Sage, and today we're going to be looking at all the evil teams in Pokemon, ranking them from least villainous to most villainous. To figure this out, I had to figure out what criteria makes an evil team villainous, and I came up with two criteria: impact and intention. For example, an evil team might have good intentions, but their impact might be destroying the world. Let's start off with the least villainous team, which is also the most recent evil team, if you can even call them evil. Anyways, I'm talking about Team Star. While Team Star seems like bullies at first, their actual goal is to protect kids from getting bullied. They do this by making Team Star a safe place for the kids at either Naranja or Uva Academy. They also help teach the kids at the school useful skills that will prevent them from getting bullied. The only negative impact of Team Star is that a whole bunch of kids start skipping school, which is not so great, but on the grand scheme of things, it is nowhere near as villainous as some of the other evil teams. Next up, we have another recent evil team, Team Yell. Team Yell's intentions are to support Marnie. Marnie kind of comes off as an underdog despite being a gym leader's sister. It's mostly because the town that Marnie is from doesn't have a power spot, so there's no way to Dynamax there. Overall, their intentions aren't bad at all. I mean, I'm a Marnie fan myself. Like, I would totally go out and support her. Their impact is mostly to stop other trainers from even being able to battle Marnie, which is not what she wants. She wants that challenge, and they're just trying to make her win by default. Eventually, though, Team Yell actually helps out the player characters, so they're ultimately not that bad. Next up, we have Team Skull. Team Skull's intention is to build a community for people who are not able to succeed at the island trials. Also for people who are just kind of struggling to survive in general, mostly economically. Unfortunately though, the way that Team Skull goes about that is a little bit more villainous. They tend to resort to stealing, which is not okay. And here we have Macrocosmo. Forgot who they are? Those are basically the people who work under Chairman Rose. Most of the people in Macrocosmos are just trying to get energy for the region, so overall that's not a bad thing. Even Rose is just trying to stop an environmental disaster. He's just doing it in an absolutely insane way. Like, the impact of what he's doing could cause a lot of problems in the Galar region, but would these problems spread to other regions? Probably not. Based on my polls on Twitter, this next one might be surprising to some people, but this is where I place Team Plasma. While Team Plasma's general intention is to free Pokemon, which is not the worst thing in the world, their secret intention is to have an authoritarian government. Basically, their idea is to convince other people to get rid of their Pokemon, so that Ghetsis is the only person with Pokemon, and then he can easily take over the entire world. Interestingly, they're not really forcing people to get rid of their Pokemon, they're just using manipulation to get people to do it themselves. While an authoritarian government is obviously not a good thing, their overall impact isn't as bad as some of the other evil teams. Like in Black and White 2, they do threaten to freeze over the entire region, but there's a big difference between freezing an entire region and destroying the entire world. These next four were really challenging because they all have the same impact, the potential end of the world. To place them, I really had to look at their intentions. Would destroying the world be more of an accident on the pathway to good? Or did they intentionally try to destroy the world? The lowest on the world-ending teams is the Aether Foundation. The Aether Foundation could potentially end the world because they're opening up Ultra Wormholes. This is allowing Ultra Beasts into their universe and wreaking havoc. However, while some versions of Lusamine are particularly crazy and not well-intentioned, overall, the intentions of this team are not that bad. The Aether Foundation's main goal is to help Pokemon, and they want to do this for Pokemon across the multiverse. They're also doing this for scientific reasons. Like, imagine people across the multiverse could connect, they could create new technology and medicine and all sorts of things that could actually be really great. But the thing that solidified Aether Foundation's spot on this list is that one of their goals is to rescue Professor Mon. Professor Mon was Lusamine's husband, so Gladion and Lily's father. Professor Mon was also a researcher in the Aether Foundation who was studying these ultra wormholes. He ended up going through one of them, and part of their research was to try to bring him back. The fact that one of the main reasons they're doing this is to try to rescue a friend makes them a lot more sympathetic. Definitely certainly doesn't excuse Lucamine's behavior, though. Next up, we have similar characters that were evil for science, Sada and Tera. By activating the time machine, Sada and Tera could end humanity because they're bringing in life forms from other times / potentially other universes. Ecosystems are fragile, and if you introduce things that haven't been alive for a long time into the current ecosystem, who knows what could happen? I mean, you've all seen Jurassic Park, right? Dinosaurs in the modern day? It's a problem. But are their intentions in doing this particularly evil? Not really. Overall, they're doing this for science, so their intentions are pretty much neutral. This video is recorded before DLC Part 2 came out, so if that changes things, they might need to move around. Next, we have Team Magma and Team Aqua. Their potential end of the world comes from altering the weather. If that went on for too long, most life on the planet, including humans, would not survive. One of the reasons I place them so high on the villainous ranking of this is that they're kind of doing this for environmental science, but it's like the most stupid way to interpret environmental science ever. Oh, we need more land? Land would be great. Let's make it really hot out. Oh, we need more sea? Let's make it rain for 100 years. That's literally insane. Plus, a whole bunch of people try to warn them not to do this, and they're just like, meh. So are they really doing it for science? No, they just are being really dumb. Anyways, the last of the end of the world situations and number 3 overall is Team Rocket. Team Rocket's potential end of humanity is because they like to experiment with Pokemon's genetics. If you experiment with Pokemon's genetics, there is a chance of them turning against you and destroying everything, so that's pretty bad. Unlike some of the previous evil teams that I mentioned, Team Rocket is intentionally doing mean things. They want to create an authoritarian form of government, and they are not afraid of using force to achieve that. This includes violence, this includes stealing, this includes cloning. This is just like, there's a lot going on with Team Rocket that's not so great. I considered having Team Rainbow Rocket be a separate group for this, but realistically, I would place it right at the same spot, so just include Team Rainbow Rocket. Even though Team Rocket is quite villainous, there are 2 other evil teams that are just slightly worse. The second most villainous evil team is Team Flare. If Team Flare was successful, their goal was to use the ultimate weapon to destroy all people and Pokemon that stood against them, so that only Team Flare would exist to inherit the entire planet. Keep in mind that the ultimate weapon in Pokemon is coded to be a nuclear weapon. Like, it is designed to mimic that. That means that Team Flare's goal was to nuke everything. The impact that this would have on the environment would probably also kill anybody who wasn't directly destroyed. Like, the environment would probably just be unlivable at that point, so everyone on the entire planet would die. Not only that, but Team Flare's intentions for doing this are absolutely horrible. Team Flare values beauty, but it's like a very shallow definition of beauty. So anyone who is outside of what they consider perfect would be destroyed. If those intentions remind you of any historical groups in real life, you're probably making the correct connection. I think a lot of people, for some reason, miss how villainous Team Flare actually is, but like, they're really bad. Before I name the number 1 most villainous team, I want to give an honorable mention to Volo. Volo's impact and intentions are very similar to this number 1 pick, so I kind of grouped them together. But without further ado, the number 1 most villainous team in Pokemon is, without a doubt, Team Galactic. While many of the grunts in Team Galactic are just in it for the paycheck, the impact of Team Galactic is to destroy existence, to destroy reality, to destroy everything. It's not like they want to kill everything, they literally want to end reality. So ending time, ending space, nothing exists, just like nothingness. What would that do to people and Pokemon and everything? I have no idea, but it sounds terrifying. The intention of this is that humans and Pokemon and everything that exists is just bad and horrible, and we would do a lot better if we threw it all out and started over. Basically, they're ignoring all the good and beautiful things in this world and just being like, nah, everything sucks. Horrible attitude, horrible decision to make from that, taking away everybody's choices in the entire universe when you haven't even explored the entire universe is just so evil. Which is why Team Galactic is #1 most villainous. How would you rank the evil teams in Pokemon? Is your ranking similar to mine, or is it totally different? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. I also have a Discord called Capsule Monsters where we have discussions very similar to this. If you found this enjoyable, you would probably also like the Discord, so make sure you join up. I hope you have a great day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Powder? You gonna be in the video? You wanna say hi to everyone again?